Welcome to the 2025 LOEG Finals. Your host Douglas. Filming is our special cameraman, we'll call him, Morris Sutton. And let's get right to it. So we have a matchup between the number one seed, Evil Empire, who's 21-7 during the year, versus Iceman, 17-11 during the year. And teams are pretty much healthy. We'll get to that immediately. Pretty much healthy other than St. Brown. But the rest of the team looks good. And let's get right to first, as we always do, the pickups last night. So let's look at Evil's bench. He took the quarterback on Washington, Johnson, for $2. Willis, who may play or may not play, not sure yet, on Green Bay for $2. And the running back Carter on Arizona, also for $2. The tight end Johnson on the Saints for $1. Sammy only had $2 to spend, spent all of his money. Not sure why. On the Kansas City Aladukun for $1 versus the Broncos. They're like 15-point underdogs or something like that. Never will he start this guy. And he took Pinheiro. Why would you take, for your last dollar, another kicker? I don't understand that at all, but those are his two pickups. He has now $0 of fab. Evil Empire now has $5 left. So let's go to the matchups. We have Stafford versus Lawrence. So over the last couple of weeks, last 3 weeks, Lawrence is actually the number one quarterback in fantasy, averaging 27 points a week over the last 3 weeks. Stafford is number 3 overall for the season. He has 40 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. Out of the 15 weeks he played, 12 of those weeks he had double-digit points. So normally I would give the edge to him, but the way Lawrence has been playing over the last 3 weeks, it's impossible to give the edge to Stafford. I will call this even. That is even. Also great matchups. You have Lawrence at Indianapolis in the Dome. You have Stafford at Atlanta as well. All both on the road, both great matchups. Let's get to the running backs. Jonathan Taylor. Since Danny Dimes' injury, he's averaging only 13 points a game. The last 5 games, he's averaging 70 yards a game, under 4 yards a carry. What happened to him over the last 5 games? No idea, but he tailed off tremendously. Jags are also number 2 versus the run, who he plays this week. Achane has been playing great. He's been in the 20s almost every week the last 5-6 weeks. He gets the edge. Kyron Williams, Javon Williams. Javon Williams on the Cowboys. He's down over the last 6 weeks in carries every single week. He only had 9 carries last week. He's injured. We don't know what's going to be with him, something with his neck. Kyron Williams splits with Corum, has a great matchup. So I will give the edge to Kyron Williams, even though he does split with Corum a lot, but he should find the end zone versus, again, a great matchup versus Atlanta. He does have a good matchup versus Washington as well. Now to the wide receivers. Nakua is the number 1 receiver in the league on the season. He is double digits 13 out of 14 weeks. There is no Adams against this week. He had 33 points last week. So it's basically not even close. Above average, but doesn't get it. Olave has been playing great. 31 points last week. Easy to give to him over Waddle. St. Brown, like I said, is injured. Wilson was doing great on Arizona until Harrison came back. He had only 2 catches last week. I'm going to give the edge to St. Brown over here. Ferguson, Waller. Sammy had Waller during the season. Miami Dolphin. Cut him. Ferguson, let's get into him. So he has, in the last 8 games, averaged only 7 points a week. He only has 1 touchdown in the last 8 games. Prior to that, he had 6 touchdowns in the 4 games prior to that. So he was on fire. No idea what happened to him. The edge is going to Waller. We're getting to the flex. Urs has a great matchup versus Tampa Bay. They're the 31st team versus the quarterback. Again, only his second week playing. Purdy is the number 2 quarterback over the last 3 weeks. He's averaging 20 points a week over the last 3 weeks. So he gets that nod over there. Also playing against Chicago. Not good against the quarterback at all. This is a very easy pick. We have Dicker Little over here. He's got a very tough matchup. He plays Houston. The number 1 versus the kicker, by the way, is Houston. The number 1 D also, who Sammy has. Little playing in the dome. He could kick from 70 yards if he wants to inside of that dome. I would give the slight edge to Little, but because of Dicker and how he did the whole season, he never really misses. I'm going to call it even. The Texans are the number 1 defense overall, the number 1 defense the last 3 weeks as well. The Saints over the last 3 weeks are the number 3 defense. I don't know why they're playing so well. They were a terrible team all year, but they're going nuts over the last 3 weeks. They had 20 points last week. This would have been an easy nod to the Texans, but I'm not doing that. Again, it's even. The Saints play Tennessee, one of the worst teams in the league. The Texans play away at the Chargers. This is the projection on CBS, 138 to 125. So as you can see here, 4 checks to 3 checks. A couple of them are even. Again, he's got the receivers here, but he has an unbelievable receiver here. Really makes up for these 2. So I do give the nod to Evil Empire right here. Just to go over some possible moves that we can have. So let's look at Williams. Samson is playing. He practiced about an hour ago for Cleveland. They play Pittsburgh in Cleveland. He catches a lot of balls. He will catch at least 6 this week. If he's interested, if Williams is hurt, again, he only had 9 carries last week. Does have a great matchup versus Washington. Ralphie could take Samson and pick him up. He's a free agent, and he could put him in here. I like him better than Carter. I like him better than Walker, who splits too much with Charbonnet. So I don't like these 2. I like him in here, if anything. If he wants to, he is a Cowboy fan. If he wants to leave him, he can. A good chance that he scores. Next. Just announced right before I started filming. That's why I was delayed in filming, because I was doing some research. Brock Bowers is out. Geno Smith plays at home against the Giants. He is available. Trey Tucker is available. I wouldn't tell Ralphie to use him. It's possible to use him here because Marvin Harrison is back. Wilson has a great matchup. The total for that game is 53. He plays Cincinnati. Very hard to take him out. So I probably wouldn't do it for Tucker, although I could see Tucker going completely crazy this week. They're going to have to score something. Giants only play shootout games. Sammy, on the other hand, if St. Brown is out, very hard, and I don't think he will be because they need the game. Very hard to use Thomas because he already has Myers, and to use 2 guys on the same team is pretty difficult. He also can use Godwin. He also has a good matchup, or again, if he wants to go for it, he can use Tucker. Tucker has crazy games. He had a 3-touchdown game earlier this year, so it's definitely possible that he goes crazy if Sammy wants to roll the dice and see what he comes out of that. So one other thing I will say, this move right here. Sammy's starting Ferguson. I don't like Ferguson. I know every time Sammy's in the finals, I just don't like a guy. I just don't like this guy. I would have taken him. So Sammy could have had him. He could have started Johnson on New Orleans, who's been basically very, very, very super consistent. At least 10, 11 points a week. He could have put him here. Would have probably gotten another 4 or 5 points over Ferguson. And that may matter in the end. Let's go to Sammy. Sammy's been complaining on the chat. He's saying that Ralphie blocked him. I don't understand what Sammy's actually talking about. Why'd he spend $1 on him and $1 on him? 2 guys that no way he's going to use. He could have spent $2 on this quarterback here, who he is complaining about. He would have gotten him because the first pick by Ralph was $2 on Willis. So once Willis was taken, Sammy went ahead of him in the fab order. He could have taken Johnson for $2 and he would have gotten him, although I actually like the Miami quarterback anyway. So I don't think it's terrible to start him against Tampa. I think Sammy a lot of the time likes to complain, throw up a smoke screen, confuse his opponent. Ralphie's confused. He called me this morning. Why is Sammy saying I blocked? So whatever Sammy's doing is working because he has Ralphie like all dizzy. Anyway, That's it for today. Good luck to both opponents. Again, I believe Evil Empire will prevail. I think that this combination, which I didn't even mention, is a combination of Suka, Stafford to Nakua. Monday night in Atlanta, they could get 50 points, 40, 50 points easily. So whatever Ralphie's behind, he can easily make it up. Good luck again to everyone, and see you next year.